Hello everyone, welcome back to the live stream. In this live stream, I'm going to show you how to create a raspberry model. Actually, we are going to make an like a ice cream, but in this live, I'm going to teach you how to create this berry using the geometry node in Blender. Actually, my schedule is yesterday, but because of some work, I couldn't do live stream yesterday. So instead of yesterday, I'm doing today. So without any further ado, let's get started. And let's create a new blend file. Now you can see what I'm pressing in a keyboard or in a mouse in this area. So let's create a raspberry first of all. We're going to start from a cube. We're going to add a cube first. So to add a cube, you need to press Shift A and go to cube, and the cube has been added, and you can drag it down and go to the geometry edit node. Press N for more workspace. And from the cube, we're going to create as a raspberry. So to that, we need to make a shape, a round oval shape, because raspberry have a kind of very oval and has some like a ball like structure in the surface. So to do that, let's create a basic shape from cube by going in a edit mode, and then no, you can, I think, yeah, you need to go to edit mode, I think, and go to subdivide. I'm going to subdivide by maybe 5. Let's go to, and I'm going to increase the smoothness. Let's make it let's see, yeah, that's great. Yep. And now let's go back to the object mode, and what you need to do is you need to click on the new, and now what you can do is you can add points to it in this area. So to add this, we're going to press Shift A, not in the 3D viewport, in the geometry node viewport. So Shift A and go to search and search for distribution points on faces. Yep. Now we have a point around the mesh. Let's increase the density of it. But in a raspberry, we can see that there is no top, so we're going to remove the top from this area. So what we can do is we can go to press number 1, and let's mute this one by pressing M, mute the node, and let's go back to edit mode and let's box select these faces. I think you need to do first is you can go in extra mode and then select from the front view, otherwise it will only like select the half of it and it will not select the like other side of the mesh. So to go to the like to preview from the X-ray mode, you can click on the X-ray mode right out here, or you can press the shortcut using Alt and Z, and that's the shortcut. Let's box select I think small and we don't need it. No, press control. I don't think we need this, so Z control. Let's deselect the thing. Let's see. We need to deselect this line too. And now let's create a vertex group to remove the top. Or maybe you can, yeah, you can remove this too, I think. Let's remove this much. So let's go to the object data properties, and then you can add a new vertex group. In this case, we are going to rename it as no node droplets, URETS, and what are we going to, we're going to assign it. Now we have assigned. Right now it's doesn't make any sense right now, but what we can do is you can go to like maybe I think, yeah, from the geometry node we can go, no, we need to select first. We are going to select this and going to add this, and then we'll get something called selection, otherwise it will not appear. You need to go add to select and to select, and then we're going to use is we're going to select this like a plus button and go to click on the blank, and we're going to choose points no droplets. Object mode, and now it's showing the opposite of what we don't want it. So to inverse the points, what you can do is you can add a boolean. So press shift A, let's add boolean, not this boolean, maybe I think going to shift A and let's see. Boolean math. Yeah, we can add the Boolean math. And we're going to join this and we're going to choose it to not. Now it's showing what we want right here. And but it does not look like Raspberry right now. So what we can add is we can add a instance to the point. So let's shift A and then search for instance. Instance to the points and click, and right now we don't have any points, that's why it's disappeared. So we're going to add icosphere to act as an instance. Let's say icosphere, and let's connect this mesh to an instance. Now we have instance as a shape of the sphere, and we are going to increase the subdivide and we are going to scale it down. I think we need to decrease the density, that's why it's overcrowded. So right now make it 1 as a scale. Let's bring down the density. Let's decrease the density a bit. Yeah, it's kind of look like a raspberry, but not exactly. So now what we can do is we can make some changes to look like a raspberry. So to do that, we're going to add a set position. So let's bring this to here and let's click shift A and then let's add a set position so that we can get like a raspberry like hole right here. And then we're going to add a position. So shift A, position. Today is quite windy. I don't know what's happening to the weather, but it's windy. It makes some disturbance. So let's add this position to offset. Yeah, it's not looking like good. So we need to add something else. Right now it doesn't doing anything. So we're going to scale it up a little bit up by using in a normal. So let's shift A and then search for URMA up. normal, and we're going to add a mix RGB. Mix RGB, and let's collect this mix RGB node to offset, and this position. Yeah. Now we can see the effect. So, but we don't want that. We need to add some more nodes, like some more adjustment. So for that, we're going to add a length value. I think it's vector. So let's add Shift A. Let's add a vector. No, not this vector. We don't want this. Shift A. And it's value. It's not input value. I think it's we want a vector. No. So let's go to vector. Vector rotation. Maybe vector map. We're going to choose it as a length, and let's drag it down. And let's connect the length, and we I can still factor, but now we want to add a color ramp, so to give a variant, so CO color. We can use color ramp to like make some contrast. We want to make kind of shape like maybe like this kind of raspberry, like this. So we need to make some contrast over the area. So we want this to be little flatter, and this to be more round. This side maybe like this and flat. So that's why we are going to add a color ramp to make contrast. Let's clear this first. It's kind of disturbing. So let's erase this up, and let's adjust with color ramp. Right now it doesn't showing anything because we have to add is a matte node. So let's add a matte node in simple matte. We can go divide it. Let's go to divide, and let's increase the value up to 3. These normals we're going to like make in terms of normal, make contrast according to normal. So we can add this to color 2, and we are going to add this as a not color 1 but as a factor. Now when we change the color ramp, it will like change in the factor. See, so let's make this color to black to set the position. And let's tweak some adjustment. But right now it doesn't showing anything. uh, which node we do, whatever we take, it does not showing anything, because what we need to do is we need to add one more node. It's called realize instances. So shift A, let's add the node realize instance, and we can add. Now we can see whenever we changes, there will be some changes in it, like this one. So let's go to the number 7 and let's see what we like. Let's add something called one pool, and we're going to make it kind of gray, so that we there is right now it's there is a scene, so we don't want that scene. So well, we can add some like value to it. Right now it's kind of look like a grab, it's not even close to raspberry. So but let's not to worry about right now. Let's choose the B spine so that it will give some smoother transition, and maybe we need to increase the resolution up to 4. Yeah, let's bring this up to 4th resolution. And let's edit once more. Something. Maybe let's increase the density. And let's decrease the radius of the icosphere to like 0.68. And now we can increase the density. Maybe we can play with the seats. Let's choose from like make the density, not density, but we are going to change is to position dicks. So now we can like set the distance. So we're going to create maybe like value for 0.76. Let's see how it looks. Yeah, it's kind of good, but let's give the density factor. I think we need to increase the like density number up, maybe decrease the amount by point minimum to be 5.3. Let's see how it looks. It looks right now total good. It's looking. Let's change with the seats. So Now it's looking quite like close to the raspberry. It's right now it's looking pretty good. And now what we are going to do is we're going to add a transform node so that it's right now totally roundness. Maybe we can do it like we can add uh, add a transformation node, but right now I will keep up to this. And now let's create a leaf of the raspberry. So let's add a plane. Let's bring it to the side and let's go to top view and go into edit mode and press number 1 to go in a vertex mode, and we can grab in the x-axis like this. Now let's add a loop cut. Let's add a loop cut. Let's increase the loop cut. Let's see some reference of the leaf. Yep, the leaf is kind of going like in like this shape. So let's create the leaf. So first let's erase this thing. Let's select this thing and let's like click on, let's do the proportional editing. So we're going to scale like this, maybe scale it like this, and maybe we can go to number 1, and I'm going to delete these 3 vertices. So X and then vertex. Now let's select these 2 and go in the front view. What we can do, we can rotate this thing. From this one, let's grab and let's rotate. It's looking kind of good. So let's scale from the yeah. Now let's add a solidify modifier. Let's see. Let's increase the offset. It's not offset. I think it's a thickness. What we want is thickness, not offset. Let's increase this much for the leaf. It's pretty good with thickness. And also we're going to add some subdivision surface to make it smoother. Let's increase it to 2. We can what we can do is we can like scale, just select the like professional edition, and we're going to scale down maybe like this. Now it's looking pretty good. Let's do now what we're going to do is we're going to like add a leaf to the raspberry. To do that, let's add a instance to the points on points. Let's click here. Right now we don't have any like points or instance, so it will not show anything. But what we're going to is we're going to select the leaf, and from here let's select the leaf. Nope. Let's drag in a geometry node editor. Let's throw it out, and let's say we're going to add some points but what we can do is we can like for before adding any points, let's add connect to the geometry output. So let's add a mesh, like circle mesh, or mesh circle, not a curve, and you can connect this mesh to the point. And let's connect this geometry to the instance. Right now we have lots of leaf around it. Let's hide this first, but we don't want like this much leaf, so we can decrease the vertex up to maybe 5. And we can let's increase the radius. Now we can see we have 5 leaves. So what are we going to do is we're going to like position like in a different position. This leaf will face in a y-axis, positive y, and this leaf will follow the negative y, and likewise the other leaves also. So to do that, what we're going to do is we're going to add a position, shift A, let's say POSI. Let's select position right here. Right now let's do the different stage. So if right now if I add this to the, it will like all the randomize in position to randomly allocate itself. But to fix that, what we're going to add is we're going to add a align node. So shift A and press align Euler to vector, and now it's all are facing upwards. but we don't want that. So what we are going to do is we are going to connect the location to rotation, so it's all in same direction. So let's connect rotation. Actually we want to rotate by using the info node from the rotation. And what we're going to do is we're going to connect this position to vector. Now it's fixed, we have fixed the problem. Likewise, I said it's going to face in all different directions. And now let's bring up to 1 meter of radius. Maybe it's a bit too close, we can increase, yeah, like this. And we're going to add again one align node. Let's copy this node. Let's copy this by pressing Shift J and add what this align node will do is it will like kind of measures in the height of a in value in z axis. So let's add let's give a random value. So Shift A, we're going to give let's give a random value, and we're going to keep it as the floor, and let's connect this value to the factor so that every leaf will be like different what's the now variations. If I mute this right now, it's like pretty uniform, it's all uniform, but if we add some random value, it will have some variations among the leaf, because in reality like it will be not like totally uniform. Some will be like low, some will be like maybe higher in terms of value. So that let's say let's keep the minimum value to be 0 right now, and maximum value to be, let's decrease maybe 0.28. I think it's too much, so let's decrease up to maybe, yeah, negative. Maximum to be, let's increase maybe 120, and let's minimum to be this minimum to be 300, maybe negative 200, and let's maximum be a, yeah, 50, negative 50. It's I know it's looking pretty good. So if we connect this like Raspberry geometry node to the output, it will like, again, it will not show any leaf of the Raspberry. What we can do is we can add a join geometry node. There's one geometry node called join geometry, so it will allow the multiple like geometry node to be joined together, and like this. Now we have a leaf, but right now leaf is inside the Raspberry, so let's first scale down the leaf a bit, maybe up to 0.3, And now we can add a transform node to the leaf. So transform transform node, let's transform, and we're going to translate this in z-axis. So let's bring up, let's say intro, shift, let's bring it up, let's bring up the value to 1, and we can scale this leaf from this transform out here also, and even you can transform from this scale. So right now we're going to scale from the transform node like this. Yeah, go to front view and let's tweak something like near. Yeah, this can be good, I think. Let's yeah, and let's rotate in the axis so that we have some issues over here, because this part of duplicate, it's like penetrating leaf. We don't want that, so let's increase the maximum value. Oof, let's decrease the maximum value. Let's increase the minimum value up to, let's say, let's give 0, and let's play with the seed. This doesn't make any sense right now, so maybe we need to rotate this in z-axis. Yep, now we have fixed the problem, but the leaves are too big for me right now. Let's scale it down. Yeah, that's kind of good, but we can scale it from the this mesh. Like let's go to edit mode and let's scale in y-axis. No, let's scale as y. It's looking great. Let me scale in y or shape. Yeah, it's looking pretty good. Now let's go to the geometry node again. Let's play with radius. Let's scale a little bit down. Yeah, now it's looking well, very good. Now this looks very much, but still the raspberry is kinda a round shape. We can add a transform node to it, or we can use some different method. Now let's say we want to copy shift A, not shift A, it's shift D to copy, and maybe let's erase the value by pressing backspace. Add to this, and we can, in this we can scale in z-axis like this, but it's kind of odd. But I will come different method of scaling of the raspberry in the next class. So this much for the today's class, and see you in the next live class. So hope you enjoyed, and let's save this blend file by pressing Ctrl A. Let's save in a different folder, maybe txt, and let's say for our apps y, and let's save the blend file. Now we have saved the blend file. So yeah, for other thing we can like continue with the next class. So thank you for staying with me, and see you in the next live tutorial video. And that's much for today, and yeah, thank you for being with me.